Hello, friends of Skele Vader. So we are in the detailing phase of my Snake Mountain build. This is the wolf's head, and it fits right there on that pillar. I made the core shape of the wolf's head using styrofoam and the hot wire cutter. And I knew that I wanted to add detail to get it closer to looking like the original toy. Also thinking and looking at the Super 7 Snake Mountain Wolf's Head 2. I used DOS air dry clay and of course my favorite Loctite glue. And I'm taking this Lego piece from my childhood so that I could put it on the base and have the head rotate. Now, air dry clay is fantastic. It stays moist for a good period of time, which allows me to add the details I need to add. And it's lightweight, and then once it dries, it's very hard. So for those of you that like to sculpt and have your result harden quickly, but also give you the amount of time you need to sculpt, air dry clay is the way to go. Really like the way he turned out. Of course, he's missing his teeth, so he's toothless right now, but you'll see I add his teeth later on. Now, the demon face on the side of the mountain, as you may or may not know, was not part of the Filmation Snake Mountain. But it definitely was part of the original toy and certainly included in the Super 7 toy as well. And I really wanted to add him. He reminds me a little bit of a Muppet, more specifically Alf. And I wanted to give him some personality, so I added those eyes using the air dry clay. And now I'm adding some of the vines that Snake Mountain has in the toy version as well. So the air dry clay is very useful for that. I'm able to roll up pieces and add them to it. And here are some of the vines. I used a little bit of that Loctite glue to keep those vines intact and attached to the sides. So I also use the air dry clay to add some fur that'll hang down and cover the area where the neck meets the pedestal, so that when he rotates, you don't have to see that seam. I think it turned out pretty good. So, as you can see, I added a bit more detail to the snake head, which made me happy. It turned out pretty good. And I also wanted to show that I did add teeth to the wolf's head. It makes it really look more like the wolf's head. And actually, the way I did the teeth, it looks a little bit more sinister. That's that rotating Lego piece. And here I am priming this thing. I use Kill's primer, K-I-L-S, not K-I-L-L-S. And then once I let that dry, I let it dry overnight. And then it was a pretty windy evening, so I dusted it off to get it ready for painting. Now that it's all primed and dusted, I just wanted to show you all that the head does rotate on that little Lego piece, so that turned out pretty good. And here we go. First, I masked off the snake body. I wanted to paint the snake body first because I knew that if I got a little bit of the green on the pillars of the walls of Snake Mountain, that I could easily paint over that with the purple when I got to it. So I used gray, and I also used lavender silver, which I was really excited to find for the inside of this. I'm using spray paint, and the gray, it fades from lavender silver to gray for the wolf's head to match more of the toy colors. And this purple is aubergine, so it's essentially eggplant. It was the best purple I could find that would be darker than the toy purple, to get closer to sort of the dark tones that were in the cartoon. It's still pretty purple. But here it is, all painted, and that's the inside with that lavender silver and with the gray for the wolf's head. Turned out pretty good. There's that Hordak demon face on the side that I added. So yeah, it's looking all right here. Of course, I still need to add the lava. The lava's gonna go there. I'm considering a few different ways to incorporate the lava. I'm probably gonna keep it simple and go with a high gloss, very bright red with some yellow highlights. I've already sculpted in the shape of the lava coming down there. Now, for the rest of the mountain, I just want to let you all know that I went with semi-gloss and gloss paints for the purple and the green, because that's the only version of those colors I could find. I am going to get a clear matte finish to cover the mountain so that it looks more like rock as opposed to sort of glossy and wet. And I'm also going to do a black wash to really bring out some of those crevices. As usual, thank you everyone for watching. Please click like and subscribe. You can follow Skele Vader on Facebook and Instagram as well. And I also am going to be adding a few items to my Etsy shop, so please go ahead and click on that link down below. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time.